It's Formula One again, and today we're going to be discussing about Oscar Piastri and the press conference where his statement looked very ill-advised and downright stupid. We need to discuss that is Mustafa Jinodo. My name is Stella.
Fabi, how you going? When you were young, did you watch Sesame Street?
Yeah, I did.
You remember? You remember
Yeah,
Oscar?
Oscar.
That's Oscar, a fucking clown, a fucking clown.
Oscar the
Oscar
Grouch.
Piastri. Oscar Piastri. Let me tell you something. If I were his coach or his parents, I'd slap him on the back of the head. So let's get to what happened. A couple of days ago, Andrea Stella comes out after Piastri said that he felt okay, but the car wasn't driving well. And after the crowd booed Lando Norris, he comes out and says that car is absolutely okay, and that Piastri has a toolbox available to him, and he needs to start using his tools. He said it in a nice way. He said, "We are so proud of Piastri, and we know that he's going to get better." That shit is so condescending, and it's throwing your own driver under the bus. I have this question. Follow me. If Piastri comes out and says that the car isn't driving well and he's complaining about it, okay? When Stella now comes out for PR to put it on Piastri and say, no, it's not the car, it's the way Piastri's driving, does that help McLaren win the constructors?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't in
Does
any.
it help the drivers drive better?
No.
Okay. Does it does it hurt McLaren's reputation? Maybe a little bit. Is it going to hurt their car sales?
It's just a PR to cover up the fact that
Yeah. So my question is, what's the point of and not just for for these guys, McLaren. I'm getting to this point now where if you're an athlete or you're a team, why do you have to explain yourself for PR if it doesn't equate to more money? Do you get my
sure.
point? It's different. It's different if Piastri said, "Oh, McLaren's cars can crash, not the F1. Their real cars can crash." So my point is, why are they coming out to do this? It's just for pride of the team, right? But
Yeah,
they throw their drivers
under the
under
bus.
the bus. Could you ever imagine um, helmet saying, let's say Verstappen says it all the time. Verstappen says it all the time. This car is crap. He says it all the time. Could you imagine Helmet Marco, not Helmet Cole, Helmet Marco coming out and saying, Verstappen is complaining. He just needs to learn how to drive better. And we do it. He's a good driver, but he needs a few things he needs to do. No, you don't do that to your driver. Then what's really making me angry is that yesterday, in the press conference, Piastri doubled down on what um, Andrea Stella said. Let's look at what Andrea Stella said first. Okay. It is important for Oscar that we go through this kind of experience in which we learn new tools to add to the toolbox because that's how you become the most complete version of a Formula One. This looks like the type of stuff that Christian writers write, thought for the day, morning meditation,
No, this
that
was
type of thing.
rehearsed. This was rehearsed. There's
Yeah,
no doubt.
yeah. Then Stella made these comments following the 2025 Grand Prix after Piastri struggled with the car's handling in low grip conditions during qualifying in the race. Not only is this is also orchestrated by F1 Press, all of these media, because they're giving such an intricate explanation for why Piastri is not driving well. It's a combination of things, but he doesn't even have the same car as Norris because Norris has the front geometry. And I'm not saying that that's unfair because Piastri had a chance to get it and said he didn't need it. Okay. Okay. He also noted that they identified a few things the team and Piastri could adjust with the car setup and driving style. But notice the main focus is on Piastri, and Piastri applied these lessons well during the race. Story. Anyway, Piastri came P5. Just because he came from P7 to P5, he was in a faster car. There's no reason why Piastri, if his driving, should be coming P5 and Norris P1, and there's almost a second a lap difference in qualifying. No. Okay, so now let's see what So after Piastri saying he's driving well and being well, Piastri says, "I feel like now this year, oh no, let me go back. Piastri spoke about the need to better utilize the tools available to him. This is what he's saying after what you call it said. It's Stella. The ability to adjust his driving style and car setup in changing conditions, a skill his teammate Lando Norris seems to have mastered more easily." Do you see? That's a slight-handed insult. Do you get my point?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Piastri explained that while he feels he has all the necessary tools within himself, and the team to challenge for the title, he has recently struggled to deploy them all the time. And notice they're not giving us any technical, like when Verstappen says that he'll say, I had oversteer, I did this. They're just giving some phrases here
Yeah.
and put them all together a bit more.
Yeah. There's no
He noted
technical
that
reason to back
he
all this
noted
up.
that due to no, it's all a mystery.
Oh,
He
yeah,
noted that due to
it's all a
factors like
mystery. Yeah.
varying tire conditions and tire performance, a different way of driving has been required in the last couple of weekends. But he has been driving much the same as he had. He's contradicted himself because he said that he's been driving well in that last race in Mexico, and he doesn't know what the issue is. What made him change his mind? I'll tell you what made him change his mind. Stella put a gun to his head and said, I am the Führer. You will be hung or put in a gas chamber if you don't talk properly. Most likely, like you said, they have a contract in which they have to say certain things in public. I think they're blackmailing this guy with this contract. Okay. I'm serious. I mean, I sound over the top, but this is very annoying. He noted that due to factors like, yeah, okay. Now, look what Piastri said about himself. I feel like now this year, if I don't have all of them, I certainly have a lot more. I've just been I've just been generally very happy across the board. Just putting it all together a bit more is, I think, what's going to be needed. That is not a confident statement. You're in the middle of a championship.
It's not.
Verstappen is coming down your ass. Your
It's not.
teammate, who you're supposed to be playing mind games with your teammate now, you're making him more confident. Do you see what I'm saying? Because his teammate is actually his number one enemy. In F1, your teammate is your number one enemy because you can't beat your teammate in your car. You can't go after Verstappen. Then he says it is about adding tools. He's using that tool word again that this guy used rather than reinventing his entire approach, focusing on problem solving with the car. He is analyzing data with his team to understand where he's losing. If he's analyzing with his team, he's going to lose because this is about the dumbest team I've ever seen. McLaren has the best engineers in the world. They have the dumbest team principal, the dumbest drivers. Anyone who thinks differently, tell me in my comments. What are your thoughts so far, Labi?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. I think there's even more.
Yeah.
Oh,
Publicly,
yeah,
publicly conceding that Norris adapts faster, it shows that he's mentally very fragile. And this is coming very late in a title contending season. It sounds very foolish to me. And like you rightly mentioned, he must have been coached to make it sound self-critical, first and foremost. And it's a diplomatic way to admit inconsistency without necessarily blaming the car or the team. And then if you look at it, top-tier drivers usually frame such introspection privately, not in public. Who comes out to say such things? I feel it's very possible that McLaren's media management they are known for doing this kind of things, crafting narratives to show harmony between teammates when there's nothing like that. The statement really fits that tone. He was very calm, analytical. He wasn't assertive, non-confrontational. This is very unlike champions. It helps McLaren look fair and unified, which they're anything but, especially with the team dynamics on the spotlight. And if you look at it, Piastri's comments show high self-awareness, but it lacks the ruthlessness that is required to become a champion. He analyzes rather than asserts himself. I mean, look at Max Verstappen or maybe Schumacher or Alonso. They would have said it more bluntly. After a strong first half of the season, he comes out with a softer tone, suggesting he's focusing on understanding. He should be talking about dominating and getting back to focus. No, I, and this is not.
no, let me tell you, I'm going to tell you the goddamn truth. If they had told me to come out and they'd say that shit, I would be like, hell no. First of all, I would be like, respectfully, I'm not saying that crap. I'm not going to go out there after I've said I'm driving well and I don't know what the problem is. He didn't even say the problem was the car. He says I don't know, but we're all implying it's the car. I would refuse to go out there and say that. I keep saying this. Words are spells. You say these words, they fuck your brain up. And this is what this guy has done. He has allowed McLaren to take him from being a world champion because
Exactly.
he was as good as the world champion and break him down into no one.
Yeah,
It started when they
this
told
kind
him
of
to switch.
statements are
Let me tell you this,
statements
when they
that
told him to switch
ensure you can
places,
never become a champion.
when they told him to switch places and give Norris the points because they messed up Norris's pit stop. That was sacrilegious. And the fact that he did it was him bending over and saying, you can do whatever you want with me. They broke him there. There's
Yeah,
no reason
sure,
for him to do that.
sure, sure.
If you told Verstappen and those guys to do it, Hamilton, they wouldn't have done it. then I think a week or two after in Singapore, Norris was over ambitious coming out of P3, hit Verstappen, then bounced and hit Piastri, and then went ahead of Piastri. And Piastri said, "I guess you're going to give me the place back." And they said, "No." At that moment, Piastri should have known what time it is in McLaren, man.
Sure, sure.
He should have known what time it is. And now he has been driving badly, so his whole confidence is shaken. And we all said that Piastri. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, Piastri is a sniper. He's like a killer, cold blooded. Motherfucker ain't shit, man. He listens to his boss and his team, and sacrifices his own championship for these fools. And he's not even sacrificing it for the team because they've already won the
The
constructors. He's
constructors, yeah.
sacrificing his championship for Zach Brown and Lando Norris.
Norris,
That's all I
sure,
have to say.
sure, sure.
What are your last thoughts?
Yeah, basically that's what he has said. And if you look at cold-blooded assertiveness seen in drivers like Verstappen, they would never, come out publicly. If there was any kind of weakness or mistakes being done, it would have been said privately. Nobody goes publicly to, to say such a rehearsed, a choreographed press conference and begin to admit weaknesses at the tail end of the season after starting so strongly. I mean, you didn't say this in the first quarter of the season when you looked very imperious. All of a sudden, the narrative is favoring the driver the team wants to win. And they're coaching you to say things that would jeopardize your future as a champion. It's just so sad, really.
It is, yeah. I don't really have much to say anymore. I'm just gonna go to. I have a beer right here at 9 in the morning. I'm going back to bed in 30 minutes. F free practice
We
one. Let's
practice
see who's
one
gonna
now.
win the championship: Verstappen or Norris.
I sincerely hope Verstappen wins
Yeah,
because this
thank you.
McLaren narrative is just making me
No, no. I'm writing Piastri out. No Christmas gifts for Piastri. No soup for you, Piastri. Okay, go ahead. Take us out of Paul Abbey.
Okay, it's been another brilliant F1 show. I've been discussing, like I said at the beginning, the ill-advised and downright stupid statements by Piastri, appearing very weak and non-assertive at the tail end of the F1 season. And from myself and Mustafa, we'll be back again to discuss the stories in F1. Bye for now.
Yeah, we'll be back. The sprint qualifier is over at 8:30, so we'll do another show at 8:30. I'm
8:30.
sure we'll do something in between too, politics and everything else too.
Okay.
Enjoy your day. This is your
All right.
ninth show, right?
Yeah, sure, sure.
Okay. Good one. Thanks. Okay.